Okay? Okay. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart,
Yes, Larry.
can you talk about incorporating prayer into our daily practice and the power of prayer to get closer to God?
Yes, I mean, look, please help me to open, surrender, and grow spiritually is a prayer. And, you know, you can come to your own prayers, the things that work to you. I mean, I use some in myself that are other than, you know, please help me to open and surrender. Nothing wrong with that. Understand, there's nothing wrong with using. I mean, I'm of the opinion that whatever works, whatever helps you to open inside, to get the chakra system open. So, I mean, I don't give out prayers. And there could be Christian prayers, there could be Jewish prayers, Islamic prayers. I really don't care. But, you know, it shouldn't take you away from actually doing the meditation exercise. But it should be just another catalyst to help you open inside. Just saying, thank you for this life, for the opportunity to build a system that can have a spiritual life. I feel deep gratitude. I mean, that in itself will open up the cosmos. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't muddle your brain with it, and I wouldn't spend the whole, 45 minutes of one of these classes just chanting Om Namah Shivaya. But I would use it, you know, whatever prayers work for you, I would use them to help, especially getting the heart open. Just simple gratitude, saying thank you. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, prayer in itself is not going to give you a spiritual life, but prayer can certainly help you attain a spiritual life. So if you need to, you know, use a little mantra, you need to use a little prayer, use it. It's all right.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question? I'm really of the belief that we need so many different things to help us to grow. And as long as what we do is conscious and positive and is really working, then I'm okay with these things, you know? I mean, as I developed this exercise in myself, it led to very many different ways of working inside. I mean, it led to profound Christian experiences, profound Islamic experiences, profound Jewish experiences, you know, profound Hindu and Buddhist experiences. And none of them were in opposition to the other. They were all there for only one reason, to help me build my inner life. And one wasn't better than the other, one wasn't worse than the other. You know, I mean, there were times I would, you know, Om Namah Shivaya in myself during meditation, or Sri Ram, Jai Ram, or, you know, Christian prayers. We're just saying thank you, opening with gratitude and asking for help to open, surrender, to grow spiritually. It's whatever works. And one shouldn't use anything obsessively, but you certainly can use it as a catalyst to help you to grow. And we all come from different backgrounds, you know? That's what's interesting about all this. We were born into different religions, different countries, different parts of the United States. I mean, we all bring with us a history, of where we are born and how we were conditioned to grow up. And some of that conditioning can be used in our meditation. As long as it works, that's the key. And as long as it helps you to get open, the rest of it is what it is and what religion, and I'm not interested, I remember one of the great experiences of my life was in Jerusalem, where I went to the Temple on the Mount, the Temple of the Sun, that Islamic temple, which I always found to be a profoundly moving place and a deeply spiritual place. And I went in, and you have to take your shoes off and go in, and there's this huge boulder, where Abraham was supposed to have going to be sacrificed Isaac in this place, or Muhammad rose into heaven on this spot, And I'll never forget standing there and seeing this boulder as the foundation for religion, and right above it was the most extraordinary mandala I've ever seen. And I looked up, and it was like, my consciousness could go endlessly into the universe. And it absolutely reminded me of the meditation practice that I do, that had been teaching for years and still teach. The rock, the foundation, the sacrifice of the heart, Isaac by faith, Abraham, it's all the same stuff. And I'll never forget how deeply moved I was. And, and I wasn't raised in the Islamic religion. I was just deeply moved by what I was seeing and what I was witnessing and what I understood as a profound creation of a spiritual practice that really evolved, had to do with people attaining enlightenment and becoming one with God. Whether it's used today like that by people in the Islamic, I don't know, But when that was built, it was a great vision of the universe. Then I remember I said, Stuart, maybe you should sit down and do your meditation here, because this is really powerful. So I sat down, and some, Muslim cleric comes running across the Dome of the Rock, screaming at me, "You're not a Muslim, you shouldn't be sitting here." Then it gets absurd. You understand? It's somebody who's found a deeply spiritual thing, and somebody else telling them, "You're not a Muslim, you got to get up, you can't sit here," And I got up and I just kind of said, okay, no problem. I didn't want to create any trouble there, So there was the dichotomy of such a deep spiritual experience with the crap that goes on the earth, the prejudice, all the nonsense, the madness that goes on in this world. It was a very deeply moving experience for me. I'll never forget it, because it combined so many different elements of life that it was an extraordinary thing. And I've had those experiences in Nepal, in India, and, all over the place, in Jewish temples. And, it's, when you get back to the source of all religion, it's all the same stuff. It absolutely is the same stuff. The Kabbalah is based upon the kind of practice that we do. It's all about chakras. They call it Sephiroth or something like that, But it's all about chakras and energy and foundation and heart and love and, in different areas of the body. It's all the same when you get down to the essence of it. And I think, to me, that is a great signal that we can use all kinds of different prayers and things from different religions to help us in our growth. Does anyone else have a question I would like to ask? That's why this work I do is non-denominational. I am not interested in people's religions, where they come from, you know, what they, you know, just use whatever it is that you were born with to help you get to God. And this meditation exercise is simply a craft. All the rest of it will come. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Is Shakti absolute?
Excuse me?
Is Shakti absolute?
What do you mean? God is absolute. Shakti is just energy that feeds you and nurtures you. The only thing that's absolute is God. And Shakti is energy that flows from the universe. And its purpose, it's like food, you know, it's like spiritual food. We need it for nourishment. We need it to build an inner life that is strong enough to work out karma, that's strong enough to have a spiritual life. That's Shakti. There's nothing absolute about Shakti, nothing absolute about anything but God. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, there'll be a meditation class on Sunday. And again, God bless you all. Thank you. And
Thank you.
can't tell you, you know, to be honest with you, I learned so much in these classes, it blows my socks away. So God bless you all for being here, for being part of this. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Sunday. Try to make the classes. The more of these classes you make, the more you're going to get. I promise you, you know? I mean, nobody's going to learn this coming here once every 3 weeks. You know, I mean that. And it's, you know, you got to find room. I mean, basically what I ask people for is 3 hours a week. There's 165 hours in a week, you know, and all I ask in these classes are 3 hours. And if you can find that time, what you're going to walk away with is, what I walk away with is amazing, you know? In every class that I teach, it's always something different and something incredibly profound. So God bless you all. I hope to see you all soon. And, you know, there'll be a class again on Sunday. Thank you. Have a great week.
Thank you.